Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. This is Predator 2 on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. This is a bit of a curious one. This is another one of those games that passed me by the first time round. Well, on the Mega Drive it did anyway. I did actually have this on the Commodore 64. And if memory serves me right, it was pretty much a bit of an Operation Wolf type game, as in it was like an on-rails shooter. So this one was quite the departure, and it's also quite a bit of a departure from the film as well. It mostly seems to centre on you running around and saving hostages in the early part of the game, and there wasn't too many parts of the film, of the movie, where this happened. I mean, I actually don't. It's been a while since I've seen Predator 2, but I seem to recall the bit where shooting drug dealers and stuff like that was in the film. But I don't remember too many hostage rescue situations, unless you count the people that was in the drugs lab at the beginning of the film as being hostages. It's one of these bizarre. It's an isometric game, as you can see, and it's a little bit bizarre. I have to give some credit to Probe, who made the game, that they didn't go down the predictable path of doing a platformer. Now, I don't know whether this came out before Alien 3 or whether it came out after. I don't know. But Probe also did Alien 3 as well as this game, and I have to give them some credit for trying to do something different. It would have been very easy just to have done another simple platform game in the Alien 3 mould, but it's kind of interesting that the gameplay essence isn't a million miles away. I mean, bloody hell, in Predator 3, freaking hell, put me teeth in Alien 3, you were required to collect or rescue the prisoners that the aliens had taken in some of the levels before the time limit run out. And it's kind of similar here, although the timer itself is set by the Predator's little laser targeting system, his little triangular 3-dot targeting system, and you'll see that appear on screen from time to time. And essentially what happens there is, once the 3 dots go over one of the hostages, they get blown up by the Predator's plasma caster cannon thing. As you can see there, it's heading towards that chap there. Now it's going to start heading off towards the other one, who I can't be arsed running after at this moment in time. And as you saw there, the bits of body parts that just went flying across the screen and the little skull in the corner indicates that the Predator took one of the hostages out. Now, depending on what difficulty setting you put at the start of the game, you're only allowed so many hostages to be killed before it's game over. So you've not only got to look after yourself, but you've also got to rescue the hostages. So you can't just, take your time and wander around each area aimlessly. You need to keep going and get the hostages rescued as soon as possible. So in a lot of respects, it's a kind of novel approach to putting a timer on things. And yeah, I mean, the game is tough. There's a lot of bullets flying at you everywhere. You can pick up these little bulletproof vests, as you saw there. They give you, that's kind of the equivalent to energy. And you can also pick up weapons as well. Now, to activate the weapons is a little bit weird. You have to press, I think it's either the B or the C button. The A button just fires your standard weapon, and if you hold it down, you can also strafe around the place as well, which is pretty useful, because, as I say, this is isometric. And sometimes actually lining up shots can be a bit tricky, but you also can do the same with the with the weapon that you pick up, you don't run out of ammo of your standard weapon, but you do run out of ammunition with one of the weapons that you pick up. Now, when you've collected all the hostages, you have to be careful, because suddenly that predator laser sight thing goes on to you. As you can see, the little predator appeared there. Now it's going on to you, and it's going after you. So you have to get to the exit before it blows you up. Yeah, what's the game actually like? It's pretty good. It's nothing too remarkable. I mean, what's done is done well. But there's a lot of things that just, to me, destroy the atmosphere of the game. The number one culprit is the music. The music in this game couldn't be more out of place if the developers had tried. It's almost like they use music from just any old random game that they happen to be working on and put it into this one. I mean, there's none of the sort of music that was in the film, that sort of rhythmic tribal jungle type music that was in the film. You know, there's no I don't know, I hate the music. I hate the fact when you rescue the hostages as well, they go, yeah. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to fit with the actual subject matter. And I just wonder at times whether this game wasn't being developed as a Predator 2 movie tie-in. It almost feels like it was going to be a different game, and then at the last minute somebody said, hey, we've got the license to make a game for Predator 2. What have we got in development that we can try and shoehorn in? And they sort of did it with this. You know, I'm not saying that's the case, because there are some levels which are very specific to to the subject matter of the film, such as the slaughterhouse and the sort of Predator spaceship type thing at the end. But there's no doubt that parts of this game were not, they just can't possibly have been designed with a movie tie-in to Predator 2 in mind. When you look at Alien 3, there's an atmosphere and a feeling that it was part of a tie-in, purpose built. I mean, some of the music goes a bit mad at times, but on the whole, it fits in with the subject matter of the game, whereas in this, it just doesn't at all. There's very, very little in the way of menace. The other thing as well I'm not 100% keen on is the fact that some levels can be quite simple and straightforward to complete, such as this one. You actually come face to face with the Predator for the first time here. You can see it's running on the top of the train and doing a pretty damn bad job of shooting you. And this has gone for a little bit of a different viewpoint. This is now more of a standard top-down viewpoint. And you still have the Predator's laser sights, and you still have the drug dealers to shoot. I mean, God, he must shoot that many drug dealers in this game. There can't be any left. And then you face off against the Predator at the end of the level. And it's a bit of an anticlimax, to be perfectly honest with you. It's the first time I came across the Predator, it did beat me, but then again, I didn't have a lot of energy left because I'd been faffing around too much, like I am doing here. But pretty much after that, with any modicum of health, I was able. I mean, that's the Predator there, that sort of barely visible thing, which is a clever idea because the Predator is supposed to be invisible. But as you can see, I mean, it's the first time you square off against the Predator, and I died stupidly because I was sloppy there, and that's not a fair reflection, really. And then you go straight back to the encounter. You don't actually really kill it as such, it just sort of runs off, which is a bit weird. You then can pick up some of the Predator's equipment. I actually did there, and then you pick up the spike things, and off you go. So, yeah, Predator 2 isn't a bad game as such. I can't say it's a terrible game because it's not. It's pretty good, but for the subject matter, it could have been and should have been a whole lot better. It to me just doesn't feel like it was a game that was designed from the ground up with Predator in mind. It just seems that this could have been any old game, and that's a little bit sad, but it's not a bad game. It's pretty good, and it's certainly well worth checking out. So yeah, that's it. Please stay tuned to my channel for more videos to come soon. Thanks for watching.